welcome to Conversations with the Empress. I am the Empress. And it is my first morning getting up to go to work without Peaches. And I'm here half an hour early because I used to always give myself extra time in the morning to, tend to her, cuddle with her, take her out, feed her, all of that. So to wake up this morning and not have to do all of that was nice to not have to do all that, but also saddened me that I don't have to do all that. So it's an interesting feeling. And, I don't know. There's a lot of feelings that I'm feeling about this whole thing. So I figured that I'm ready to tell you guys what actually happened with Peaches, because this is all part of me, having my therapy or whatever. And I need to tell the story so that way I can heal. So Thursday morning, I got up like I normally would for work. I went and snuggled with her and I said, come on, let's go outside. She was very slow to move, but like some mornings she was like that. She was older. She had like stiff joints and stuff, just like us, So I figured she was just a little like, oh, mommy, I don't want to go out. But she ended up getting up. We went out. She went to the bathroom. We go back upstairs, and normally she's dragging me because she's so excited to eat. And we got upstairs. I took her harness off. She went and laid down. I put her food out, and she just looked at me like she didn't even want to eat it. So I put a little water in it. I put it back down, and then she ate it. I still didn't really think too much of it. I was kind of like, oh God, I hope nothing's wrong with her. I did have that thought, but I didn't really think anything was wrong with her. So I go to work. I come home. She's back to her normal self, hyper as hell at the door to see me and everything. I take her out or whatever because I was going to go chill with my homegirl. So I take her out. I actually took her for a little walk. She loved it. Brought her back to the house, fed her, gave her some water, and then I went to chill with my homegirl for a couple hours. Came back home. She was still normal. I picked her up to put her on the couch, and we snuggled together for a little bit, and then she jumped down off the couch. Now, when she jumped down off the couch, I didn't see her hit herself on anything or anything like that. She just just hopped off the couch, not that high. So she jumped down, and she went and laid on her pillow, and when she laid on her pillow, she was like pushing herself up like this. Like she was sitting on her hind legs, but she was using her paws and pushing herself up like this, straining. And she was like looking around like she was disoriented. And I'm like, okay, that shit is not normal. So I go over to her and I'm trying to comfort her. And I'm like, Peaches, are you all right? Are you all right? To which she snapped out of it and went back to normal. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this dog. I said, she's freaking me out, and like, I don't know what's going on. So now I'm like paranoid, and I'm just watching her. So she lays there for a little while, but she couldn't really get comfortable. And then she got up, and she had peed and shitted on herself. She took 2 steps off her pillow and threw up all her food. So after she did that, she just laid on the regular floor. And so I commenced to like cleaning her bedding, cleaning up the throw up and everything. I brought out another bed for her, put fresh bedding on it, and she went and laid on that one so the other one could dry after I cleaned it. So she got up, she walked over to that bed, she laid on it. I would say maybe within like 5 minutes, she got up again. She had shitted and pissed again on the bedding. So now I'm like, well, I don't want her to mess up her bed. So I took that bedding off. I threw it in the trash because it was so bad. I wrapped the bedding in a plastic bag and I put fresh bedding on it again. She sat on it for a little while. No accidents on it, but then she couldn't get comfortable. So I had a sheet on the floor. She walked over to the sheet and just collapsed on the sheet. And it was like she collapsed in a weird way. Like, not like a way where, when your dog is tired and your dog just lays down because it's tired. It was like she didn't have control over it. She was kind of sitting you know, on her stomach with her hind legs like under her, just straight out, which didn't look comfortable. And so then I'm watching her, and she's like, the air conditioner had clicked on, and she's like looking around like this, like looking like she couldn't see. She was super disoriented. I'm calling her name. She's not responding to me. I'm saying, you want to eat? She's not responding to that. I'm saying, you want to go for a walk? You want to go outside? She's not responding at all. Not even looking at me, which is not her at all. And in that moment, I became very fearful, and I felt that I knew she was going to die. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just like, she's dying. I called my boyfriend, and I was like, babe, I think Peach is dying. And he was like, babe, don't say that or whatever. And I'm like, babe, I know my dog. This is not normal. This is really bad. I can tell it's bad. And so he's like, call me on video so I can see her. So I called him on video, and I said, watch. I'm calling her. He's looking at her. He's like, why is she laying like that? He's like, why is she not responding? I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. I had to go to work in the morning, and I'm like, I don't really want to go to the vet this late. I said, so I don't know what to do. So now I'm just monitoring her. And then she got up and started walking around. So I'm like, all right. I said, I'm just going to sleep out here on the couch and keep her pillow close to me and sleep out here on the couch and kind of stay like halfway awake so that I can keep an eye on her. Parents and fur parents, y'all know what I mean when I say you sleep, but you not sleep. So I think I must have slept for maybe 3 hours, if that, because I finally saw her falling asleep. So I was like, okay, I could go to sleep. I woke up like 2.5, 3 hours later. And when I woke up, there was like 3 different piles of shitty blood on the floor, in several different spots. So she had tried to like walk around. And so I commenced to cleaning up the shit. She's now laying on her pillow, writhing in pain. She's making noises that she's in pain. And I immediately got up, got dressed. I called the emergency vet. And they said, bring her right in. So now I got this task of getting her down to the car. And she cannot walk at all. Like, she cannot get up. She cannot walk. She had function of her front legs, but her hindquarters were completely gone. So now I have to carry her downstairs. Now, I live on the 4th floor. We have an elevator, but it's still like a walk down the hallway, a ride down the elevator, and then a walk from the lobby to my car in the garage. So I take a blanket and I like wrap it under her so that way I could pick her up and like kind of sling her and carry her, you know, without me having to like pick her up. So I put the blanket on her and I'm carrying her with the blanket. We get to the elevator. I put her on the elevator. We go downstairs. We get to my car and I realized I had forgot something in the lobby. So I just left her there, and she did not move because she could not move, which is also not like her. If you knew Peaches is very active. She always was curious about everything. She was very nosy and like very much a surveyor and like an observer. So she loved to walk around and smell stuff and look at stuff. And if she got a minute off that leash, she was out. So the fact that she did not move scared the fuck out of me. I'm gonna be honest. And so I'm gonna try not to get emotional while I'm telling this story, but it's gonna be hard. So I put the blanket in the front seat. I let her ride in the front with me so I could keep an eye on her and keep my hand on her, because I just wanted to keep touching her because I didn't know how many touches I was going to have left. So I'm driving to the emergency vet, and I have my hand on her while I'm driving. I'm petting her and I'm playing with her ears and talking to her and apologizing to her, and because I already knew she was going to go. So I'm saying all these beautiful things to her that I feel for her because I knew she was going to go. And she was getting a little antsy and she was uncomfortable. She just was so uncomfortable. And so when I get to the vet, I run in and I said, can somebody come out and get her out my car? Because, you know, she can't walk. So 2 girls came out. They picked her up. They brought her in the vet and they laid her on this, you know, like a long table. This emergency place is like you walk in and there's just tables everywhere. There's like vets everywhere. And it's just 24-hour vet care. I had never seen anything like it. It was something out of like Animal Planet or some shit. So they put her on the table and she immediately starts doing an ultrasound on her. She showed me like her organs and stuff, like her liver. But then it was just all this fluid inside of her. And she was like, that's not normal. She said it's really dark and it's taking up a mass in her abdomen. So she's like, I'm going to put a syringe in and pull out the fluid so I can see what it is. She does the syringe and pulls out the fluid, and it's like all blood and black, and just, it was so thick you couldn't even see through it. And at that point, I already knew, like, I'm going to have to put her down tonight. And so the girl says to me, you know, this is like a sign of cancer. She might have had something in there that ruptured, and now she has internal bleeding. And she's like, if you want us to do emergency surgery and all this stuff, we can do that. She's like, but at the end of the day, you could spend all that money and do all that surgery, and she still could not live a great life after that because of the severity of what's going on. And, you know, I thought about it in that split second. I said, first of all, I didn't have the money to do emergency surgery, or if it was cancer, like chemo, I didn't have it to do. I also thought about the fact that Peach would have been 12 years old this coming January, so she had lived a very long life. And it was also the fact that she was visibly and audibly suffering, and it was killing me and tormenting me to see her in that much pain and suffering and just be a shell of herself and not even be able to respond to me. So at that point, I had to make the decision to put her down. So they said, okay. And they brought me into this other room. It was very dim lighting, like all these cushions and, you know, blankets on the floor so you could spend those last moments with your pet. And they gave me water, you know, and they said, take as much time as you need. We'll come back in like 10 or 15 minutes. So I stayed there with her, and I just laid on the floor and I just held her, and I cried and I cried and I cried, and I sniffed that spot on the back of her ear that I love. If you have a pet, you know what I mean. They have a certain smell, just like babies do. And so I lay with her and I just talked to her and told her how much I loved her and how sorry I was that I couldn't do more to help her, and that I was going to miss her, and that she had been such a joy in my life. But, you know, she didn't respond in a way that she normally would. Like I said, Mama, give me kisses. She wouldn't give me kisses. She couldn't hear me. She couldn't hear her name. I don't even know if she could see me. But I just laid there with her. I just laid there with her. And then the girl came in and she was like, you know, I really hate to have this conversation every time I have to have it, but I need to go over with you, you know, the cost of all of this, the euthanasia and everything. And okay, so I got pissed off, rightfully so. And I let them know, because I'm still going to be Jackie no matter what situation I'm going through. I'm always going to be Jackie. So she pulls around this menu of the prices, and basically they can cremate your dog and give you the ashes back, and they could cremate your dog, give you the ashes back, and do like a clay mold of their paw, or they could do like footprints with ink and give you like the fur and stuff. And they wanted to charge me $500 to put my dog down. At which point I ripped and I said, y'all have the audacity to charge people to put their pets down? I said, people come in here and are putting they're not just their pets, they're their family. Like, this is my child. And you want me to pay you $500? I said, I ain't got it. And I said, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. I said, this is a service that y'all should offer for free if somebody is coming in here and they have to put their dog down. So she was like, no, I understand. I'm going to go talk to the vet, the doctor, or whatever. So she goes and talks to the doctor, and the doctor like had her come back to me and ask me, well, how much can you afford to give us? And I said, I could give you guys $200, but I really cannot give you any more than that. And they said, that's fine, we'll take the $200 or whatever. So that's the one thing that happened that night that really pissed me off, because I'm just like, how are you going to charge people to... I was just really mad about that shit, because I was already going through anguish. Like, I have never felt that type of pain, emotional pain. So They took the $200, and then the doctor came, and she explained the whole process to me about how they put her down. They shaved her little arm and put like an IV in, and the first tube they do is a white fluid, and that's basically like just a sedative to calm her body and like stop the pain, slow down her breathing a little bit, and everything like that. And then the second vial is the pink vial, and that's what stops her heart. So she did the white vial first. And at first, I didn't really want to stay for them to do the pink vial. But then something in me said, no, just stay with her. And so I stayed with her, and I was hugging on her and kissing her. And then they did the pink vial, and within 30 seconds, she was gone. You know, she was gone. And I was just left feeling so bad. It's just really hard to describe. I mean, if you ever lost somebody or a pet that you really cared about, you understand what I'm saying. It was really hard for me. But what they did do is they took and made 2 paw prints in ink for me, and they shaved off some of her fur for me, and they gave it to me, which I appreciated. So that is what happened with Peaches. And for those of y'all who know me and know how much I love that dog, if I was a millionaire, I probably would have paid all the money to have the emergency surgeries and do all that shit for her. But I didn't have it, and I couldn't let her suffer. And so I had to do what I had to do. It was the hardest decision of my life, you know, and I have been feeling very much up and down since the whole ordeal. I have some good moments, and then I immediately could become sad and just start boohoo crying out of nowhere. The next morning, like around 3:30, I had texted my boyfriend, but he was asleep because he gets up at really early for work. And so when he saw the text, he immediately called me. He was like, yo, do you want me to come over there and be with you? And I'm like, babe, I'll be all right. I'm going to go to work. He's like, babe, you haven't even slept. How are you going to go to work? And I said, I don't know. I just feel like I want to go to keep my mind off of it. He was like, listen, I'm taking the day off, and I'm coming over there to be with you. And he literally called in and put in a bereavement day and came and spent the day with me so I wouldn't be by myself. And he just let me do whatever I wanted to do. I didn't want to be in the house, so we went to a couple parks. He took me out to dinner that night, and he's literally stayed with me since I lost Peaches. It's now Monday morning, and he asked me last night, do you need me to stay with you longer? And I mean, I love the fact that he's trying to be there for me emotionally and take care of me. But at the same time, I do need to experience being by myself without Peaches. Like, I need to, you know, heal. And having him there is great, but I also need to face that. I need to face, you know, everything that happened, and just the fact that she's not here anymore. And, you know, I know it's going to take time. Like, everybody keeps telling me it takes time. But I have decided that I don't want any more pets. People keep telling me that's temporary. I'm probably not going to feel like that forever. But how I feel right now, it's heartbreaking. And this one really, really hurt deep. So that's the story about Peaches. And she was a wonderful dog. She was my best friend. I will never forget her. And the lesson I learned is just cherish the time that you have with any being that you love, because you never know when could be the last time you're going to see him or get to spend that time. Because I wish I could have another moment with her, another sniff behind her ear, another kissing her on her cheek. She used to love kisses on her cheek. She would get in my face and I would kiss her on this cheek, and then she would turn her head for me to kiss the other cheek. She was just the sweetest thing. And them little things is what I miss. Even the things that she would do to get on my nerves and tear stuff up sometimes. And, you know, I miss everything. I miss her. But I will be okay. If you're going through the same thing, trust me, you're going to be okay. It's just going to take some time. And I wish you the best. And I hope everybody has a great week. And I'll see y'all around. Bye.
Do you have kisses for me? Do you? Do you? You have the kisses for me? No.
Thanks for watching. Your support is always appreciated. Don't forget to drop a comment, smash that like and subscribe, and then share. But if y'all want to show some support with them dollars though, throw your girl a Cash App on handle $EmpressElite. You feel me? Until we meet again, you gonna take these kisses.